Today we're going to be taking a look at the Merlin Nano. This is by Augvape. They first came out with the Merlin RTA, and then they had the Merlin Mini, and now they've got the Merlin Nano. This is a mouth-to-lung RTA. It does take a single coil. It comes with a straight glass and then this really cute bubble glass. So yeah, so that's what it has. We're going to go down and I'm going to talk to you about it. I've got a couple things to show you, and then we're going to come back up, have a vape, talk about it, and pros and cons. So let's go ahead and go down and look at the Merlin Nano mouth-to-lung RTA by Augvape. So here we are with the Merlin Nano RTA. It is a mouth-to-lung RTA by Augvape. This is the package that it comes in. It's got some package contents right on the back telling you what's included in the package. Inside the package, you're actually going to be getting a user manual. You're going to get the Merlin Nano mouth-to-lung RTA, which is an 18 millimeter RTA. You're going to get an beauty ring that makes this a 22 millimeter, and then you're also going to get this PCTG type of material bubble tank as well. And with the bubble tank, it holds 3.5 mils of e-liquid. With the straight glass, it holds 2 mils. And then also included are, you're going to be getting the tri-tool, which is always handy. It's got the flatheads and the Phillips head. You're also going to be getting a bunch of O-rings. You're also going to get two extra screws, 2 coils, and then 2 plates. These plates are actually for your airflow, which I'm going to be showing you. So you've got 2 different airflows here, and depending on which type of airflow is which one you would put in. It also has a third option, which is already pre-installed. So I'll be going over that. Now with the coils, it does say that it comes with one made of nichrome and one made of canthal, but nowhere is it listed which one is which. And I know that they're different because the material looks to be different. Like one is a little bit shinier than the other. Depending on which one it is also going to depend on your ohms or your resistance. In the book, it does tell you that with the canthal coil, it is a 1 ohm coil, and with the nichrome coil, it's actually a 0.6 ohm. Now on to the RTA. So again, this is an 18 millimeter in diameter RTA. It does say Merlin Nano on the front, and then it does have a 510 size drip tip. This is like a Delrin type of drip tip. And on this one is really weird because this one you actually fill from the bottom. So I'm going to be showing you that. And then you take off the bottom, and this will actually get you to the deck part. Underneath, you're going to see right here that it's got the threading for your deck to actually screw in. And then these holes right here, these are actually your fill ports. So instead of it being on the top, it's actually on the bottom. So whenever you fill this, you would actually unscrew the deck as I did just now, either by this way or by this side. Never down the middle, but down either one of those ways. Your airflow is actually coming directly from the center. So you definitely don't want to do that. Now you can also change it out to this PCTG type of bubble. Honestly, it's not, and I'm always into bubble. I'm always into bubble, but it does not look really nice at all. But let's go ahead and try to take this apart. There we go. I did tighten it, but I didn't over tighten it. And then you would just take this off. This is to change the glass. You're going to do this, and then the glass will pop right off. And then you can go ahead and put this right on there like that, and then pop this back in like so. And it will just screw right in just like it did for the glass. There we go. And then you can tighten it down. But if you look at this, it just, I don't know, it looks a little wonky. I'm actually going to be leaving it like this because I do need a little bit more e-liquid capacity than 2 mils of e-liquid. So we're going to go ahead and leave it like this. But it does come with the straight glass. So I wanted to show you what that's going to look like. Everybody knows what this is going to look like. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put that aside, and let's go ahead and look at the star of the show. So this is actually the bottom piece of the deck. Again, it doesn't have any markings here, but it does have this here. This is actually made out of PEEK insulation. So this is actually your chamber section. Yes, it does come apart. It actually fits right onto the deck itself. Really nice. And if you notice, it's actually a PEEK insulated deck as well. Like right here, this is also PEEK. Just like this. So it fits really, really nice just right there. Now on this has got a very conical design. So this is where your actual conical design would come from, not necessarily from this chamber here. And then you do have your juice channels right here. So you've got juice channel right there, and you've got a juice channel right there. So that way your juice can actually get in. It's gonna come down, it's gonna go in, it's gonna wet your wicks, and that's how it's gonna be working. Now, back to the star of the show. This is a single coil deck. And again, like I was telling you, this piece here does give you another airflow option. So this is your third option. So let me go ahead and hold those up for you. So here we go. So we've got the one airflow here. Then you've got two airflow holes here. And then you've got this one here, which is just a little bit bigger than that one. So whichever ones that you want. I personally want the biggest airflow as possible. I like more of an airy mouth to lung than I do a restricted mouth to lung. So you can use either the big one or the two holes. I'm actually just gonna go ahead and use the big one. What you do then is just plug this in. It's got the plug spot right there. And then this has actually got an O-ring on it, so it actually stays into place. You don't have to worry about it. So all you do is just push it in like that, and it's there. That's all you need to do. Absolutely love Phillips head screws. Preferred over the flatheads, but that's just my opinion. So what you want to do is you definitely need to raise these up because your leads are actually going to be trapped right underneath it. Now, being that these are just regular round wire coils, it's going to be easy to trap the leads. And if you notice, they have like little tiny little lips on them to hold it, if you can see that. So really, really tiny. So what we're going to do is go ahead and put a build on this baby. And yeah, so let's get to building. We're going to go ahead and use, let's go ahead and use this one here. So what you want to do with your coil is, again, it is a single coil. One good thing about this is that with this plate here, your coil is actually going to sit within that spot. So say for instance, I'm actually putting the coil in, it's literally going to be right there. It's showing you where the positioning of the coil needs to be, whether it's high or low, so you know that you need it right there. So let's go ahead and place this in here. So I'm going to do is just go ahead and put this one there underneath that one. Do I need to raise it up a little bit? Yeah, let me raise up these screws a little bit more. There we go. Don't be scared. And then we'll go ahead and just place this in there. Just like that. There we go. See? The coil's nice and placed. Again, this is a really, really tiny deck. I do want to warn you on that. So what I'm going to do is actually just go ahead and put my screwdriver right in here to hold it in place and keep it even. Just like that. Hold it down. And then I'm going to screw this one in. And it's going to trap your lead right underneath it. And then I can take this out now because it's holding it down. I'm going to hold this down with my finger, making sure that that is totally in. And screw this one down. And now the coil will not move because it is trapped by those leads. See, you can see it's right there. Now we can go ahead and just cut the leads. Now, these are so fine and so thin that you could probably cut them with a pair of scissors, but I'm gonna go ahead and use my wire cutters and just snip, like literally snip. There we go. Get those out of the way. So those are a little bit sharp. And then I'm just gonna reposition the coil and just making sure that it's right there. There we go. Again, really, really, really tiny deck. And then that's what it looks like. Very, very simple and easy to build on is the mouth to lung rendition of the Merlin, but this is the Merlin Nano. So yeah, so that's it. So let's go ahead and start dry firing this. I do have this on my iStick Pico by eLeaf. I just thought that it would be perfect because it's nice and tiny. So let's go ahead and heat this up. Okay, and I'm gonna start dry firing. This is coming out to a 0.56 right now. Just go ahead and pinch it, or my ceramic tweezers. Go ahead and pinch it, there we go. And that's it. Look at how easy that was. Now we're ready to wick it. So let me get some cotton and we'll go ahead and wick this baby up. For my cotton today, I'm actually going to be using my Kendo Vape Cotton Gold Edition. That is my go-to cotton, so that's the one that I'm going to use. The book did say that this was supposed to be a 0.6 ohm coil. It's actually ohming out to a 0.56, so it's close enough for me. So I've got a piece of cotton here. I'm just gonna go ahead and twist it up, and then we'll wick it. It's gonna be really, really easy to wick. There's literally just one single coil. So just put that through. Okay, and then just pull this through. There we go. All right, so that is through, and I'm just gonna go ahead and grab my scissors so I can cut these. I'm gonna cut it right about here. And I'm gonna cut it right about here. And then we'll go ahead and fluff them up. These are actually my preferred tweezers, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this. I do like to go ahead and fluff up my cotton. And then fluff up this side. There's really no reason to thin it out because you're using so little bit of cotton. There's really no reason to really thin it out. And I'm just gonna lay it right here on the deck. This is a little bit too much. I'm gonna cut it off a little bit more. I'll cut it right there, right to the deck. And right to the deck. A little bit more on this side. There we go. And then all we need to do is just literally lay it right in the deck. There we go. There's no wicking channels or anything. All you need to do is just lay it in the deck and don't worry about nothing else. So we'll lay that one there, lay this one here. That's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and start juicing it up. And for today's juice, I'm actually going to be using some of my Royal Cheesecake from the Queen by Wendy Vapes line. You can get this at queen-ejuice.com. I'm just going to put some on the coil to make sure that it's actually going to soak into the cotton. Go ahead and turn this up just a little bit more, not too much more because, well, it's mouth to lung. So I'm just going to turn this up to 15. We'll go to 15. So there we go. Oh yeah. Fire in the hole, baby. Just go ahead and wet that up. We want to get it nice and saturated before we put the top on. Okay. I'm just going to make sure that all the wicks are in there. I hate stragglies. I'm sorry, guys. This is like the part that you guys are probably like, just fast forward. Okay, so now we want to go ahead and put on our peak insulator chimney. So you're just going to put that on top like this and push it in. And it fits just like that. There's absolutely no problem with it. This is where your e-liquid's going to go in to wet your cotton. After you do this, then now you're going to fill it and then you're going to put the tank on. So I'm just going to fill it down that hole there. So I'm just going to tilt it to this side right here. Again, with the bubble tank, it does hold 3.5 mils of e-liquid. With the other one, it does hold 2. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And now I can put it on there. There we go. And just screw it together. Okay. Which I do like that you don't have to take it off of the mod if you don't want to. Now you can rock it just like this if you want, or you can add the beauty ring. I'm actually going to go ahead and add the beauty ring for you so that you can see it all put together. And with the beauty ring, again, it does bulge out to a 22 millimeter. Now they are going to have sold separately 24 millimeter beauty rings. So if you want a 24 millimeter one, they will have those separately, and you can just put it on the base here and then screw it in or lay it down and center it. I do like it personally with the beauty ring a little bit better. So that's it. That's the Merlin Nano. So yeah, Augvape. So let's go ahead and go on top and take a vape and talk more about it. Okay, so here we are back on top again with the Merlin Nano Mouth to Lung RTA. Before anything, I'm going to go ahead and have a vape. I do have it at 15 watts. It is ohming at a 0.64 right now, probably because I was messing with it. But yeah, so that's what it is now. Very smooth flavor. I like that it crackles a little bit because that to me is just, that's the way I like my RTAs. I want to hear it working, and it does do it. You can also do mouth to lung, so it is a mouth to lung. So I usually direct lung everything, even my pod systems. There's a couple pods that I don't, but usually for like the tanks and things like that, I do direct lung it. It will work either as a super restricted direct lung, or you can mouth to lung it, which is what it's made for. So yeah, so that is the Merlin Nano. So I do have some cons on this. But again, everything that I'm going to be giving it a con for is my subjective cons. Now, I am trying to think outside the box as someone who actually wants and uses a mouth-to-lung RTA on a regular basis, or uses a pod system, mouth-to-lung pod system on a regular basis. I'm going to try to think of that when I'm actually giving you my subjective cons, just to be fair, because this is not a regular RTA. It is a mouth-to-lung RTA. Now, number one, I'm going to tell you that I'm a huge fan of the Merlin RTA. The Merlin RTA was one of my first RTAs, and I absolutely loved it. It got me loving RTAs, and I still have my original one from years ago. So it's that good that I've kept it. I could never get rid of it. So I am a fan of the Merlin RTAs. Mouth-to-lung RTAs are not my preferred method of vaping. That's just me. But if I was to vape something like this, number one, it doesn't come with an extra drip tip. A lot of these devices nowadays are coming with an extra drip tip. It doesn't have one, but it is interchangeable with any 510 drip tip, so you can change it out yourself. It's not a huge con, but it is a subjective con. I would have liked to have seen it, included. The biggest con for me on this, I'm going to tell you right now, other than anything else, is going to be the bottom fill. I am not a fan of bottom fill. I know why they did it, so that you have a lot more room for the glass compared to the deck, so that it's not too tall. I understand that. At least that's what I'm thinking that they did. But every single time having to take it off of my device in order to fill it, I'm really not a fan of that. The coils that are included are not marked. I literally had to guess. I guessed the right one, by the way, because it was the brighter one, but they're not marked. I like the fact that they provided the two coils. One is nichrome, one is canthal, but they didn't tell you which one is which. That, to me, I have to mark as a con. I'm sorry. Another one is going to be that I like the fact that you can change the airflow options with that little piece. I don't like that it stays kind of loose. I know that it's just being held in there with that O-ring, but I don't like that it's got a little bit of play in it. I would have preferred it to stay. It's not making any difference. It's really not. It's giving you the airflow that you need. It's closed up. Everything is fine, but I don't like that little bit of play. So that to me would be another subjective con. On to my pros now that I've gone through my cons. The first pro I'm going to give it is flavor. I'm getting really, really good flavor. Even though it's just this little micro coil, I'm really getting some good flavor, so I do like that. My second pro is going to be that it is easy to build. Other than it being teeny weeny and you feel like you're like building like a little Barbie house, it is easy to build. You literally and I love the fact that on the airflow piece there, that it's actually got that tool where you lay your screwdriver in and you know how low and how tall, how high to actually put your coil. I kind of like that method. It does make it a little bit easier when building. So I do like that they actually included that on those little airflow channels. So that to me is definitely a pro. Having the peak insulator chamber, I think, is a really good idea, because when you do have to take it off to fill it, you're literally not having to worry about juice getting all over the place and, your coil's exposed. You could possibly hit the coil when you're putting it back and things like that. So I like that it's got that. It's sort of like a little protection on it, but I do like the fact that they did make it with peak insulation so that, it's not going to get hot by any means. And to me, it works really, really well. Another pro is going to be the fact that they did give you two coils. Even though they didn't indicate which is which, they still did provide you with the two coils. So I think that that's definitely got to be mentioned. Another pro is going to be this beauty ring. I personally think that it looks really, really hot with the beauty ring. That's just me. I like it even better with the beauty ring and the straight glass, but I do like more e-liquid capacity, so I do like the bubble glass. Now the bubble tank. I do think that it looks a little wonky, but it does grow on you. Like the first time that I ever put it on, I was like, oh my God, what is this? It's so wonky, but it really, I don't know, it grows on you. I'm so used to bubble tanks and bubble glass that it grew on me. I really like it now. At first, I wasn't a fan of it. I wish it would have been the regular standard glass or see-through, because I'm not a fan of the smoked out or the frosted type of, tanks, but it works with it. It really does. So I can't give it, I have to give it some props. Another pro is going to be the fact that they give you 3 different airflow options. Now, I did forget to mention one con, and that is with those airflow options, in order for you to change them, it's not like you can change it, you know, from the device itself. You would literally have to go take your build out and then change it out. That to me would be a con. Now you could probably do it without taking out the coil, but you would have to be really, really careful because you can pick up one end and then slide it under the coil and then put it back in and slide it down. But you still have to take it apart in order to do that. So that to me would be a con that I did forget to mention. Another pro is going to be the fact, other than the airflow options that they give you, they do give you an option if you want straight glass or a bubble tank. So I do like that. This drip tip is also very nice. It's very, very comfortable. It does not, like I said, none of this gets hot at all. I'm only vaping it at 15 watts. You really don't need a lot of wattage on this because of the fact that it is a mouth to lung RTA. But to me, it's kind of looking kind of cool. It looks good. I mean, I can't lie. I mean, it looks wonky, but it looks good. It looks like something I would actually put together. It really does. If I'm being honest, it does. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for this. You can go to the Merlin website or you can Google it to find some prices where you can get it. Unfortunately, I cannot leave any links down below against YouTube policy. But if you're into mouth to lung RTAs, I think you should take a look at it. I really do. It's got a lot of differences compared to a lot of the other ones that we've seen. It does have its little quirks. I know that, you know, I'm thinking Ricky would probably like something like this. And he knows who I'm talking about. He would probably like something like this. I just think that even though it looks a little wonky, I love the fact that they gave you the extras. I love the fact that it works so well. It does give you really good flavor. I would definitely take a look at it, see how you like it, see if it's something for you. But yeah, so that's my review for the Merlin Nano mouth to lung RTA from Augvape. And that's it for my review. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and I'll see you in the next one.